Please help me welcome Morgan.
Greetings, Toastmasters, Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, with the delivery of my Icebreaker speech, I begin the journey to attain the status of a competent communicator. I want to tell you I'm very excited about becoming a better public speaker, and I'm even more excited about becoming a speaker in this environment of understanding and learning. So, with that, but before I begin, I want to take the time to recognize my son Matthew, who I'm so very proud of. Joining Toastmaster has shown me that he understands the importance of verbal communications, and I believe that your ability to communicate verbally and your writing skills will take you a long way in realizing your full potential. With that, let me begin. Today my subject is wisdom. What it is, how does one, or how do I get it, and how I have used it. The reason I chose wisdom is because, first of all, I am ardent about the subject. Another reason I chose wisdom is because it is one of my force of three. My force of three. My force of three is wisdom, courage, and faith. I chose wisdom of the three because, in my humble opinion, courage is not explained, it's really demonstrated. And faith is a difficult subject to bridge. Wisdom, on the other hand, is understood and valued in all cultures. So that's why I chose wisdom to talk about today. So, what is wisdom? One definition of wisdom is, it is the ability to discern, to judge that which is true, right, and lasting. Another definition of wisdom is the sum of all learning passed down through the ages. And one other definition that I'd like to add is that wisdom is a tool. It's a tool that we use to nourish our spirits, to encourage our dreams, and to protect our interests. So that's what wisdom is. Now, how does one acquire wisdom? Well, for me, it began in my father's house. I am the fifth son, the 10th child of Mitchell Green, husband of Rosemary Green, my mother. And in my father's house, quickness of thought, intellect, and leadership were expected. Aloofness, dim-wittedness, and idleness were disciplined. So I learned at an early age that I'd be well advised to be happy and healthy in my father's house. I should get good grades, I should observe him and learn his ways, and act according to the values of my family. So that's one type of wisdom that we get, that which is passed down through the family, the wisdom of ages. Another way to acquire wisdom is through formal education. Now, I agree with the wise people who say that schooling does not make a wise man. But I would also say that schooling does give one depth of knowledge needed for discernment, which by definition, if you remember, is part of wisdom. So for me, that began in the public schools of New Orleans, at a time when integration in this country was just starting. I was in elementary school. Went to school with white kids, Chinese kids, black kids, everything. We didn't know any different. We just learned together, lived together, and quite frankly, we loved together. But I want to tell you that during that time, my elder brothers and sisters were experiencing integration at the high school level and at the junior high school level. And it wasn't as easy for them. So I was blessed to have a very good education all the way through to the University of Tulsa, where I studied electrical engineering. And I stand on the shoulders of all that my ancestors have come before me. And like I stand on their shoulders, I hope that my son stands on my shoulders. Now, the last type of way you can get wisdom is through observing and experiencing the world around you. This is what I call the wisdom of experience. Now, this type of wisdom you have to be careful with, because this type of wisdom can be a kind teacher or a cruel teacher. I have been blessed to have learned from the kindest part of the wisdom of experience, and I would attribute that to the wisdom that I learned from my family. It allowed me the opportunity to prevent some of the more difficult learning experiences. So now that we have talked about where wisdom comes, what wisdom is, where it comes from, what do I do with wisdom? It's simple. I use wisdom to decide. I use wisdom to decide to study this or that, to buy this house or that house, to support this cause or that cause. I use wisdom to decide. And I can tell you that most things that people struggle with have come as a result of them making decisions without the benefit of experience, of wisdom, experience of the ages passed down to their families, and the experience of learning. So I hope my speech tonight on wisdom has given you the chance to learn a little bit more about me, and I hope to improve as I go through the process of becoming a competent communicator. With that, Mr. Toastmaster.